go.
And the lighter, leaner, and meaner, Joe Stevenson. And we are underway.
Joe is a huge 155-pounder.
Amazing when you look at the body structure of the two men that Edwards doesn't have a more sizable reach advantage. First opportunity, I believe, for Stevenson to take this fight to the ground. He's going to go after it.
Absolutely, and he's doing a smart thing here. He's willing to engage and at least throw his hands, or look like he's going to throw his hands to set Eve up.
Eve in the southpaw stance. Now Edwards has worked diligently on his takedown defense.
Eve's just a very good athlete, very nimble. He's a great athlete. I'm wondering if the southpaw stance is posing a problem for Joe Daddy in setting up his takedowns. It's different when a guy leads the other leg.
Anything you can do to throw off your opponent a little bit is something that will be done at any time if you're comfortable with it, because, Randy, you don't want to put yourself in an uncomfortable position in trying to throw off your opponent, because really what you do is you throw off yourself.
You know, you always want to bring your A game. You want to be in the strongest position you can be. And Eve looks very comfortable in the southpaw stance. Nice counter. Joe Daddy follows and picks up that leg, and he's going to be on that real hard.
He was relentless. He was on that leg like a rat on a Cheeto, as you taught us earlier tonight. But still, he hasn't been able to take Eve Edwards down yet. Now he finally does. Very relentless in that takedown opportunity was Joe Stevenson. Now look, Joe Stevenson has taken a page out of your book now, Randy. He's trying to push Eve Edwards towards the fence to take his ability and his mobility away, but Edwards springs right back up.
Eve uses beautiful butterfly guard to create space with his hips and stand up.
Stevenson is going to feel like his cardio is off the charts. 20 pounds lighter.
Oh,
big
nice
high kick.
Oh, follows it with a left hand.
Oh, and down goes Stevenson. Edwards trying to finish.
He's recovering. He's defending himself now, using his legs, locked around Eve's waist. He was hurt there for a second, though, but he did a nice job of recovering.
He got caught with the kick.
Oh, a body crush.
He got caught with the hand.
It's a body crush here. He's locking behind his own knees and squeezing with his legs. It hurts. Doesn't seem to be bothering Eve any, though. I wonder how much energy Joe's spending trying to get this submission. Eve trying to find a way to land an elbow.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to hold on to that very long. He's going to gas himself out.
Nice
good elbows.
Holy moly, that was nice.
Eve Edwards, recent win overseas.
Stands in Joe's guard, makes him get back up. Said, I want to hurt you again in the standing position.
Now let's see if there's any hesitation now by Stevenson in closing the gap after he was rocked a moment ago.
Smart move by Eve, I think. Why stay down there against a guy who's got great submission skills? Stand up in that guard. Make him get back up.
Oh, good combination. That one missed, glanced off. Stevenson pushes forward. Stevenson looks comfortable, although he has eaten right.
Eve is finding range, throwing nice straight combinations. Joe's not moving his head much.
He's pretty razor sharp with his striking, Eve Edwards, isn't he?
He's surgical with those strikes. There's the knee that Eve is known so well for. There's a big takedown. Oh, watch the triangle choke.
Can he get it here?
Armbar, trying to change the armbar. Nope, Joe slips out of it.
UFC 61, bitter rivals here tonight. UFC 62 coming your way next month as Chuck Liddell puts his title on the line against Babalu Solbrawl. Saturday, August 26th. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Available only on pay-per-view. Edwards is on the bottom now, and Joe Stevenson imposing his will. Good elbow by Joe Stevenson.
I think Eve is making a mistake closing his guard here. He needs to open his feet up, use that butterfly again, create some space, work his way up the fence, and get back to his feet.
And look, he's trying to do exactly that, Randy. And the thing that I talked about earlier, Joe Stevenson is utilizing the fence and cutting off some of the mobility of Eve Edwards, taking a page out of your book, and Edwards is back up again. Stevenson wants that leg, wants to take this right back down to the mat.
Stevenson knows exactly where he wants to be. He's not going to give Eve any space. Try and put it back on the mat.
Stevenson looking right into the corner. Mark Lehman, Cobra Kai team, supporting their soldier here tonight. Man, Edwards really tough to take down here. Edwards is bloodied up on his forehead. That might have been one of those elbows from Joe Stevenson.
Yeah, I think you're right. Nice single leg by Joe, but he puts himself in danger again. The triangle choke.
Can he finish it this time? 15 seconds left in the round.
I think Joe's going to get out. No, there's an omoplata attempt now. And he'll use this to get up for sure, to get back to his feet.
Will the bell ring, though? Stevenson seems to have weathered the storm. And round one, very action-packed. And the interesting thing about round one, Randy, we saw both men utilize their strengths against their opponent.
Very tough round to score, back and forth.
Give me a towel.
We're going to get a replay here. Eve throwing a nice high kick right off the cheek of Joe. Stevenson throwing those elbows that probably resulted in the cut on Eve's forehead. Stacking him into the fence.
Get your stuff. As soon as you make contact, they start driving up the middle.
Don't worry about his ground game no more, bro. Your ground game's just as good. Just stay relaxed, bro. Stay relaxed.
He's going to get best. He's going to go for fight from paper.
Watch the leg locks.
Watch the legs. You're doing awesome. Perfect on the ground.
Great hip movement.
Give him some water.
The best 5 minutes of your life right here. You hear me? Okay?
Stevenson got rocked in that first round.
He sure did. He got hurt, and he recovered quickly, but he was definitely in trouble there for a good 10 seconds.
Now, let's see if he has gained some confidence with the strong finish to that round.
You ready?
Let's see if there's that desperation that Eve Edwards' corner was talking about when Joe Daddy tries to get this next takedown. A little blood from Joe's nose.
A little blood on the forehead of Eve Edwards. Second round, here we go.
Come on, guys.
Great pace in that first round.
Now, the lightweights are a ton of fun to watch because they're so darn explosive. Energetic, but still pack a big amount of power.
Nice inside kick by Eve.
Edwards in the dark trunks. Stevenson in the white trunks.
Nice straight left by Eve. And Joe doing a nice job of staying outside of that lead foot of Eve Edwards to try and neutralize that striking. Eve countering, stepping back into the pocket, throwing those straight punches.
Oh, just missed with the uppercut. This program is a presentation of the Ultimate Fighting Championship and Zupa LLC. Any use in whole or in part without the express written consent of Zupa LLC is expressly prohibited. Mike Goldberg, Randy Couture, Joe Rogan on assignment tonight. Glad to be with you here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. UFC 61, bitter rivals. Tito Ortiz, Ken Shamrock, Tim Sylvia, Andre Arlovsky, Frank Mir on the card. Good straight left by Eve Edwards. Stevenson a little bit more willing to exchange here.
Throwing his hands a little more, which is going to make that takedown come that much easier. He needs to throw more right hands. Against the left-hander, he needs to throw that right hand right up the middle.
And he's after that leg again.
Nice single leg.
Got him.
Dumps him.
Now the key is, Randy, what does he do from here? Does he use this position to his advantage?
Well, he has to. He's got to secure. He's trapping that leg nice to hold Eve down. And now Eve pulls full guard. Again, I think this is a mistake on Eve's part. He needs to open his guard, use that butterfly, continue to scramble. Now he's using that foot on the hip. Joe working him to the fence, trying to limit his mobility. He's going to start bringing those elbows down now.
Absolutely.
Joe's going to start dropping them here.
Member of Team Hughes on the Ultimate Fighter 2, the first pick overall, and the eventual champion. He was everyone's favorite on the Ultimate Fighter 2 and did not disappoint as he won the welterweight championship, defeating Luke Kumo by a unanimous decision. His lightweight debut for Joe Daddy Stevenson, at least in the UFC, as Randy mentioned earlier, he's accustomed to fighting it this way. And you've got some great lightweights now.
Eve has got a much bigger gash on his forehead now.
Absolutely. That's different than the initial one. This one's on.
This is going to have to be checked, I think.
This one's over the left side.
I'm wondering if that blood's not coming from Joe.
Oh, Stevenson asserting his will here. 2.5 minutes
Somebody is
remains in the
bleeding
second
a lot,
round.
and it's hard to tell who it is. I think
It is
it's from the
Edwards.
scalp of
It is
Eve.
Edwards. You can see the cut now. Stevenson overwhelming right here. Raining down elbows.
Looking to try to find a way to finish this. He smells the blood. He knows the referee's looking at all that blood. And Eve doing not much but covering now.
Great position of dominance by Joe Stevenson.
Again, the closed guard, I think, is a mistake on Eve's part. He needs to use his feet, create space, create those scrambles. He's so athletic, use that to his ability.
Big elbow by Stevenson. And another elbow. This is the Joe Stevenson that won the Ultimate Fighter competition.
Devastating ground and pound here by Joe.
They're going to check the cut. They're going to check the cut. And a great job done by referee John McCarthy because he waited until the pace slowed down because he didn't want to take the advantage away from Joe Stevenson.
Exactly. John showing the expertise as a referee that he's always demonstrated. Nice gash here by Eve.
Yeah, that's nasty.
It's the scalp really is a crazy place. It bleeds a lot, especially mixed with a little sweat.
We're going to rinse the mouthpiece. Hey, you know what?
Eve's going to continue.
Absolutely. And John McCarthy asked him, do you want to continue to go? And he said, absolutely.
You're going to see him go back down on the bottom here. I would hope that he opens his guard and starts using his feet to create those scrambles and use that athletic ability.
They'll put them back in the same position here, Randy. And again, this is a bad cut, but because it's in the head area, as you said, when the blood starts to pump, you get all that adrenaline going, it's going to bleed worse than it is, if that's actually possible.
It looks a lot worse.
Absolutely.
It looks a lot worse than it physically is. The only issue is if he starts getting that in his eyes, being on the bottom here.
August 17th, live on Spike. It is UFC Fight Night. Our main event that night, Carl Parisian against Diego Sanchez, followed by the premiere edition of The Ultimate Fighter 4 Comeback. Randy the Natural Couture, George St. Pierre the trainers.
Come on, you gotta get out, let's move.
Now Edwards still is not out of trouble here though.
No, he's just now opening his guard. Look to see him try to use his feet, create some space, get out of here.
You get the feeling though that he is going to survive this round now. It looked like it was not going to be the case earlier, but it seems like he's at least weathered the storm, and can Stevenson finish him off here?
Stevenson's doing a good job of trapping his arms. Crucifix position, more elbows coming down.
40 seconds remains in round 2. This one is nasty. The cut on the head of Eve Edwards, but that also makes your opponent extremely slippery.
It does. Hard to secure any submissions. He's going to have to just continue to pound away here and try and get Eve in a position where he can intelligently defend himself.
Get out of there, let's go.
Another elbow. He's really working Eve over here.
Now the beauty of it is in 10 seconds, Stitch and our cut men will be able to stop the majority of that bleeding.
He'll put some coagulants in that cut, stop that bleeding, get him cleaned up, and he'll come out for the 3rd round.
What a job done by Eve Edwards to survive a great round 2 for Joe Stevenson. Simply outstanding.
Amazing. Joe Stevenson definitely dominated that round. Probably a 10-8 round for Joe. And I would say that he lost a 10-9 round the first round, so still a very competitive fight.
There's Leon Tabs, veteran cut man, one of the best in the business. The doctors are in there to make sure that Eve Edwards is okay. The most important thing that is stressed here in the Ultimate Fighting Championship is our fighter's safety.
Hey, come clean that mess up.
That is a dangerous.
Somebody come clean it up.
It's going to require some stitches after the fight for sure. Other than that, his face doesn't really look that bad for as many elbow shots as he took. He's got a little knot on the other side of his forehead.
It's all over. The doctors have stopped the fight.